Hey friends, I wanted to throw this video together. I've had some requests recently. A few people noticed I lost some weight and asked what I was doing and asked if I would share my diet. And I said for sure. Now, a little bit of background. I was a marathon runner, ran marathons, half marathons, always kept my weight in shape. I broke my foot, leg, and ankle. I've had multiple injuries, but broke foot, leg, and ankle on the left side. Got fat, dumb, and happy with a beautiful wife that's a great cook and just stopped running, quit out running my diet. I went from probably, I don't know, 176 pounds was kind of my average where I was running, up to 206 pounds through COVID. So I put on a little bit of weight. Anyways, I got to chatting with a good person online, and we started talking about weight. And I talked about the fact that I'd lost some weight. He's a good bit younger than me. And he's like, what are you doing? Do you mind sharing? So I'm going to go through what I've done. And by the way, I hired a personal trainer. This is going to be a short video. Won't make it too long. I hired a personal trainer who has a dietitian, and he put together a diet plan for me. And I started off that diet plan kind of day one and had things like cottage cheese on there, don't eat it. Had fish on there, don't eat it. Had quinoa on there, not going to eat it. So there was a lot of things on there that I just, I'm not gonna like make myself miserable to lose weight. And people might say, oh, your longevity of life and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's great. But I know my body pretty well. And I know my likes and I know my dislikes. I know what's gonna keep me on plan and keep me disciplined. So let me start with a couple of basics here. First and foremost, these are the things that I've done at the top of my list. Number one, I've cut sugar out of my diet where possible. So a lot of things that you eat or drink or ingest in your body is high in sugar. Psh, gone. Number two, I became carb aware. So I look at the carb count on the things that I put inside my body, and I try to keep the carbs at as much of a minimum as I can. So that's number two. Number three, I've gotten away from fried foods. So no Chick-fil-A, no fried chicken sandwiches. No French fries, no fried potatoes, and I've gotten away from potatoes in general. So I try to stay away from starches, and I try to stay away from fried foods, and I try to stay away from, I call it the C's. The carbs are things like carrots and corn and those things that, are going to bring stuff into your body that's not good for you. So that's first and foremost. And before I tell you what I'm doing, I'm going to say, if you can follow those general concepts that I just laid out, you're already way ahead of the game. And I can tell you, I'm not on a rigorous diet. I do cheat every once in a while. I might have a slice of pizza every once in a while, or I might have something that's, gonna maybe violate the rules of the diet just a little bit, but in extreme moderation. So let me make that clear, extreme moderation. Grayson and I went go-kart racing, and I stopped at a racetrack, and we picked up some snacks, and I got a buffalo chicken strips or tenders or whatever, and those are fried. And I ate two and he ate one. So again, moderation. And by the way, that was my lunch for the day, so I didn't eat a lot. So let's talk about what I'm eating, what I'm doing for a meal prep standpoint. Let me just tell you, I was working out a little bit, but a majority of this weight has come off post-workout, only because we've been traveling and doing stuff, and I haven't been able to work out now in almost a month. So everything that I'm doing is diet moderation. Again, let me start off with where I weighed in. So I started this on roughly, call it May 13th, May 14th. I started it early. I went to the doctor, I think, on that Monday of May 2022. So it might have been the 10th, I think. I weighed in at the doctor at 208.5. My home scale said 206.8. So I'm going off the home scale because it's something I can monitor myself on. We had an event with all of our team coming into town, so I stayed at a hotel. It's very hard. And I have drank. It's very hard to not drink and not do some stuff in moderation. So for that, I did, I've got an ab workout routine that I did, and I was doing push-ups throughout the day. And I tried to moderate what I ate to a point, but I really couldn't. So it wasn't until about the 13th or 14th that I actually started on the diet, just in all transparency. Now, what did I change? Wake up in the morning, my morning routine is coffee. So I drink a good bit of coffee, and what I was doing, and I have rice cakes and all this other stuff on this diet, and I'm not doing it. So I grabbed some peanut butter, right? So high protein stuff. I grabbed peanut butter, and I grabbed some blueberries, and I grabbed some cashews unsalted. And in the morning, I just would grab a cup of coffee or four, I'll talk to you about coffee in a second because what I do is very different. And I would throw blueberries in there, high in antioxidants, right? So blueberries and some cashews, mix that up in the peanut butter and bam, I'd eat it. Now, not a lot, maybe a tablespoon of peanut butter, maybe, just a small amount of grapes that I could fit in the palm of my hand. I would put those in the thing, same thing on cashews. The cashews are heavy in oil. I think they talk about it's like a unsaturated fat or something like that, or a good fat for you, right? So I would do that, and then coffee. For lunch, so I like chicken, I like steak, and I like pork. So what I did is I got small. My wife actually went out and got beef tenderloin in this pack. When I say pack, it's like tied together, 3 pieces. And I marinate that Worcestershire sauce. I like it. So I would marinate that and then put it in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the freezer. When I get up in the morning, get my coffee, I'd throw one out on the counter. Chicken. So I don't really like chicken breast that much, so I cut chicken up into cubes, and then my wife's got a whole bunch of different seasoning stuff that she does. She does a Greek chicken that's amazing. So low sugar stuff, sometimes oil and some rosemary. We've got rosemary here, so I'd throw that in there, and I'd mix that up, and I would freeze it. So pull one of those out, throw it on the counter. Our counter happens to be a solid stone like marble or something. So you throw it on there. By lunchtime, it's thawed out. Turn the grill on, cook it on the grill. Salad. So I would get vegetables. My go-to are like yellow, green, red pepper, right? So I would get that. I would get spinach is very good for you. So whatever I did, I would mix with spinach, a little bit in there, maybe arugula or whatever, and mix that together. Do a small salad, no salad dressing, oil and vinegar. So a little bit of oil, a lot of vinegar gives you the flavor, right? And then you're not dealing with fats. So I would eat that. And then I would snack during the day. So let me just show you my cheats on snacks. By the way, Atkins, you can buy this stuff online. I did the Atkins diet years ago, worked for me incredibly well. So I've got these, peanut butter cups here that are great. I've got my peanut M&Ms, which my kids know that I love. The other thing I found was these keto bars. And I found these at Costco. So if I need to snack during the day, I grab one of these. The other thing is I started drinking a lot of water. I've always drank Diet Coke or half sweet tea and all this other stuff. And I said, hell with it. I started drinking water, and I'm usually fine. So let me tell you the output of this. So I've been doing this, and then for dinner, whatever Julia cooks, if it's on my diet, I'll do it. If it's not, I won't. I eat a lot of charcuterie. People would probably yell at me for that, but if we go out, I'm doing a charcuterie board or an antipasta board at a restaurant, which is good. But what I found, some of the results that happened right away. So it's a mental thing. It's completely mental. I was able to get myself in a frame of mind where I was eating less. And I'm really consuming a lot less food. So that's number one. You don't realize it, but when you start doing this, you just have less cravings because the sugar's gone and the carbs are gone. I'm not really craving a lot of food. And that's just, it just happens. It's by design. So that's number one. Number two, believe it or not, your body needs calories to generate and operate. And I had a lot of visceral fat, by the way, which visceral fat is subcutaneous. It's not like fat that you have in the skin. It was, inside around your organs, which is the worst that you can have, but the easiest to lose, by the way. So if you have that beer belly look, believe it or not, that's easy stuff to get rid of. And what happens is your body starts to burn fat. It goes to that first, right? And it burns that visceral fat off and consumes it. And if you do a keto diet or an Atkins diet, they talk about going into ketosis, which I've done before. This time, I don't think I really got into ketosis per se, because I take a multivitamin. I do take multivitamins, by the way. I like gummy vitamins, so I take those. I take vitamin B12 and then D3, because I had a D3 deficiency. I'll talk to you about that another time. But anyways, so what I found was it starts to accelerate. So my weight loss accelerates a bit because I start burning this visceral fat. That's number one. Number two, I had really bad acid reflux. So I was eating late, snacking late, doing shit that I shouldn't do, getting in bed, and I would just, regurgitate stuff, which, by the way, ended up by getting down into my lungs, which created breathing issues for me, which was unhealthy as well. My acid reflux is gone. I was doing omeprazole, probably 2 tabs a day. I have no acid reflux. As a matter of fact, I've cheated and drank some Diet Cokes. And I've eaten Mexican because we've gone out for Mexican, although I'm very smart in the stuff that I do when I'm eating Mexican to make sure that I'm minimizing as much of the carbohydrates as I can. But even some Mexican spicy food, maybe 1 or 2 chips, but guacamole instead, and doing the guacamole and eating it with a spoon instead. But even spicy Mexican, I've done a Diet Coke and no acid reflux, no GERD, nothing coming up. So I'm healthier, just to tell you that. So that's the other byproduct that's happened here. So if I added exercise to this, if I did running and some other stuff, I think it'd be really good. By the way, my son and I race go-karts. The other thing I found is I fit in the go-kart better, and we're running, speed 70, 80 miles an hour, and I broke 2 ribs last year. I got a good rib belt. But what I'm finding is if I do my push-ups and I do my ab routine, which is not a lot, by the way, it's an 8-minute ab workout. You can Google 8-minute abs. It's very easy to do. It's low impact, low stress, but it does tighten your core up. When I was working with a physical trainer, I was doing, ropes, kettlebells, squats, some of the other stuff, which I got to get back into. But I tightened up my core, and I found that tightening up my core actually made my body feel a lot better. But you don't have to do that. Just focus on the diet. So here's some tips. Find foods that you like that are low in carbs and do them in moderation, right? Try to cut your portions down just a little bit. If you've got to spread your meals out through the day just to get used to this, do it. But if you can cut out sugar, if you can cut out carbs, if you can cut out fried food, you're gonna be awesome. By the way, I went back to another doctor because I just wanted to look at my blood work from somebody else. Had another doctor run my blood work and compared them. By the way, all of my blood work came back awesome, but my cholesterol was up. So now here we are. Today is, what is the date today? Today is July 11th. So from May, basically 2 months. 2 months I'm down 20 pounds. And I feel good. And my target is to get down to 180, by the way. So 185 was kind of a target. I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna get back down to 180 because then I can teeter-totter a little bit. If I start working out a little bit more to be good. By the way, my clothes fit. I can see over my belly now. I don't really have that much of a belly, a tiny bit, and that's why I want to lose the additional weight there. Pants are falling off me, shorts are falling off me, shirts fit better, I look better, I feel better, but I feel healthier, and that's the key to this. I feel healthier. So find foods that you like. In the morning, by the way, I've gotten to where I only do a keto bar and coffee. I do try to mix fruit in. I just bought a juicer recently, and by the way, the juicer, you gotta be careful on the stuff that you do because you can get a lot of high sugar. And I would wait till after week 3 or 4 before you do this, introduce carb stuff back in. But, oh, by the way, cucumbers in my salad. I stay away from onions because they don't agree with me, but find those things that you like. Just do a tiny bit of research and find the things that you like that are low in carbs. And then start putting together, in your mind, and you don't have to do a lot of planning or layout. I'm going to eat this many calories, or I'm going to do this. Just try to adjust in moderation. I've got a buddy of mine that's on, he's on a macro diet. So he can eat certain foods to a macro point, and I'll be candid, percentage-wise and pound-wise, I've lost a lot more weight than him. And I'll send him this video. And I think the reason I've lost a lot more weight than him is I'm actually happy with what I'm eating. And my body's kind of adjusted the portions as opposed to me going to this macro diet and doing things that I shouldn't do. And by the way, he's eating rice. He's eating things that when I look at him, I'm like, I don't know if I would do those. Broccoli, awesome. Carrots, not awesome. Not good for you. Carbs. So, and I would have people that are going to look at this that are doctors and have dietitian backgrounds and all this other stuff and say, no, you're wrong. You have to do this right. Well, okay, but I also have to live and be happy. And I want to be happy with the things I'm doing and I'm eating. So this is a wrap up of my diet. I do drink wine. I've gotten off the bourbon. I'm not a big drinker, by the way, social drinker. But I've gotten off the bourbon, don't drink as much. And by the way, you could say, oh, your acid reflux is because of that. Well, no, not really, because I'll still drink a bourbon every once in a while. I'm back into enjoying wine. I used to get more heartburn on wine and GERD off of wine, red wine especially, than anything. But everything in moderation is what I would say. So with that, I know this is a 15-minute long video. Again, go by Costco, grab you some of these keto bars. They're on sale right now for $15.93. I bought 3 boxes yesterday. Atkins Online. I'm a big fan of Atkins' book, by the way. I read it once upon a time and went on Atkins, and this is probably, good God, probably back in like 2003 time frame. I actually felt ketosis kick in, and the way that I knew it kicked in is I was like peeing like a Russian racehorse in the middle of the night and literally just passed all that visceral fat and got it out of my system, which is the worst thing that you can have on your body anyways. It's clogging your organs and everything else inside of you. So that's my feedback. As always, if you like this video, like, subscribe. I know my channel is all over the place. I got car stuff, I got travel stuff, now I've got diet stuff. But I look at it like this. I'm not trying to fit into one genre. I'm just trying to share some life experiences for people that follow me. And hopefully they can share their experiences too for people that follow them. And we just have a happier, more productive life and lifestyle. And we learn from each other, experience from each other, and have a great time with each other. So with that, have an awesome day. Good luck on your journeys. If you make it hard, it's going to be hard to stick with. So don't make it hard. Make it easy. Just, it's up here. All I can say is you got this and you can do it.